What's good, Philly fam? It's your boy here at Philly Sports Truth. And yo, we need to talk about what just happened. Because Jalen Hurts just dropped the most fired up quote of the entire 2025 season. After destroying the Vikings 28-22, after going a perfect 19 for 23 with 326 yards and 3 touchdowns, Hurts walked into that locker room and screamed, "We ain't effing losers no more." That's what we're breaking down today. The anger, the fire, the perfect passer rating, and why this game might have just saved Philadelphia's entire season. Let's get into it. All right, so let me set the scene for you. The Eagles just came off 2 straight losses, back-to-back. Broncos, then the Giants. The Giants, bro. The media was on them. Is the Super Bowl hangover real? Can Jalen Hurts still be elite? Should they trade for a running back? The noise was deafening. But here's what nobody knew. Jalen Hurts was sitting in that locker room during those 2 losses, seething. He told reporters, quote, "The feeling of losing. Simple as that. That's all I could think about during the last 2 weeks." And when I tell you he had fire in his eyes on Sunday, I mean literal fire. Jordan Mailata, his left tackle, said, quote, "He's got so much swag. When he's in control, you can see a look in his eye." And after he went out there and posted a perfect 158.3 passer rating, only the 3rd perfect rating in Eagles history, by the way, he jogged into that locker room, shook hands with Howie Roseman, and screamed at the top of his lungs, "We ain't effing losers no more." Yo. That's your franchise quarterback right there. That's the energy we need. Because listen, this wasn't just about winning one game. This was about making a statement. This was about telling the entire NFL, y'all forgot who we are. Now let's talk about how he backed up that energy. Because Hurts didn't just talk. He went out there and put on a clinic. 19 completions, 23 attempts. That's an 82.6% completion rate. 326 passing yards, his first 300-yard game of the season. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and here's the crazy part. 5 of 5 on passes 20-plus yards. 5 for 5. 216 yards and 3 touchdowns on deep balls alone. DeVonta Smith had a career day, 9 catches, 183 yards, including a 79-yard bomb for a touchdown. A.J. Brown, only 4 catches for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the 45-yard dagger that sealed the game. Combined, 304 receiving yards for those 2. That's elite receiver room production right there. And the best part? The second half.
Because remember, the Eagles were dead last in the NFL in second-half offense coming into this game. Last place, 3.9 yards per play, 24% scoring rate. But against Minnesota, Hurts went 10 for 12 in the second half, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 20 yards per pass attempt in the second half. 20! That's the highest rate by any quarterback in a second half with at least 10 attempts since Kirk Cousins in 2016. That's how you respond to adversity. That's how you silence the doubters. But yo, let me tell you what makes this performance even more impressive. The running game? Non-existent. Again. Saquon Barkley? 15 carries for 46 yards. That's 3.1 yards per carry. That ain't gonna cut it. Cam Jurgens got hurt. Brett Toth had to play center most of the game. The offensive line was struggling. So what did Hurts do? He carried the entire offense on his back. And here's what I love about this dude. He prepared for this moment. He told reporters that during the tough times, quote, "I smile and accept the challenge." Did you see him smiling on Sunday? That wasn't arrogance. That was confidence. That was a man who knew he was about to go off. He said, quote, "There was some fire there, but within that fire, you have to be the calm." That's elite quarterback mentality right there, fam. The ability to be angry but controlled, fired up but focused. And listen, this brings me back to last October. You remember what happened last October? The Eagles came back from the bye week, and Hurts didn't lose another game for the rest of the season. They won every game he finished. And what did they do at the end? They hoisted the Lombardi Trophy. Now, am I saying they're going to repeat that this year? We'll see. But the energy is there. The fire is there. The belief is there. Now let me talk about the defensive matchup for a second. Because Brian Flores, that's one of the best defensive coordinators in the entire NFL. His blitz packages are disgusting. He brings pressure from everywhere. He confuses quarterbacks. He makes offenses panic. But Jalen Hurts? He was cool as ice. Every time Flores brought pressure, Hurts either got the ball out quick or he extended the play and found somebody deep. There was a 3rd and 15 where Hurts moved around, rolled left, and hit DeVonta for a first down. Huge play. Then there was a 3rd and 13 where he bought time, rolled right, and hit AJ on the sideline for another first down. Those are back-breaking plays for a defense. Those are the plays that make defensive coordinators want to pull their hair out. And here's the thing about Carson Wentz on the other side.
Oh man, let's talk about that revenge game. Wentz threw 2 interceptions. One of them was a 42-yard pick six by rookie Jalen Hurts. A rookie! The Vikings went 1 for 6 in the red zone. 1 for 6! They kicked 5 field goals. So while Hurts was out there throwing dimes and making history, his former teammate was out there struggling. You can't write a better script than that, bro. You just can't. So what does this all mean for the Philadelphia Eagles moving forward? Number 1, they're 5-2. That's tied for first in the NFC East with a head-to-head win over Dallas. Number 2, they just proved they can win when the running game disappears. That's huge for playoff football. Number 3, Jalen Hurts just reminded everybody that he's a top 5 quarterback in this league when he's on. But here's what I'm most excited about, the mentality shift. Because that quote, "We ain't f***ing losers no more," that's not just about winning one game. That's about identity. Remember, this is a team that won the Super Bowl. They know what it takes. They've been there. And after 2 straight losses, there was a real danger of the wheels falling off, of the confidence cracking, of the doubts creeping in. But Hurts and the Eagles just said, nah, not this year, not on our watch. They went back to what works, deep shots to Smith and Brown, aggressive downfield passing, trusting the franchise quarterback to make plays. And guess what? It worked. Now, are there still concerns? Absolutely. The running game needs to get figured out, the offensive line needs to stay healthy, the defense needs to tighten up in the red zone. But here's the thing. This is the blueprint. This is how you win games when things aren't perfect. You let your elite players make elite plays. Simple as that. And yo, let me address the doubters real quick. Because I know there's people out there who were saying Jalen Hurts couldn't throw. He's a running quarterback. He can't pass the ball downfield. He needs the run game to succeed. 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, perfect passer rating, 5 for 5 on deep balls. Where y'all at now? I want to hear from y'all. Drop in the comments. Tell me what you think now. Because here's the reality. Jalen Hurts is one of the prettiest deep ball throwers in the NFL. That's a fact. He might struggle with intermediate passing sometimes, sure. But when he needs to go deep, when he needs to make a big play, he's as good as anybody in this league. And the fact that he did this against Brian Flores, against one of the most aggressive defenses in football, against the Vikings team that was 3-2 and had playoff aspirations, that makes it even more impressive. So, yeah, the doubters can sit down now. The haters can relax. Because Jalen Hurts just reminded everybody why he's a Super Bowl MVP. All right, Philly fam, let me wrap this up. Jalen Hurts just gave us one of the most memorable performances of his entire career. 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, perfect passer rating, and a legendary quote that's gonna live forever. We ain't f***ing losers no more. That's your quarterback. That's your leader. That's the energy that's gonna carry this team to the playoffs and beyond. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment and let me know. What was your favorite moment from this game? And make sure you turn on notifications,
because we're going to be covering every Eagles game this season. This is Philly Sports Truth. And remember, we ain't losers no more. Fly, Eagles, fly.